Kupina kuphi emakhaya amadolobheni nasekoplasta khona sawubona ke mbukeli. Welcome to this week's edition of Yilungelo Lakho. It's your right. Uhlelo kulethela konke lokuthinza nine njengama nemalungelo njengoba saying on this Youth Day. I'm Simphiwe Ncongwane. Today's episode mbukeli honors the youth of today and just looking at how they are shaping and taking control of their future with technology and artificial intelligence. Ingabe insha yanamhla isebenzisa kanjani iartificial intelligence kutivulela ke emathuba emsebenzi. Asingene ndzabeni efu namhla. From the fearless students who marched for freedom in 1976 to the young leaders, the innovators, the entrepreneurs shaping South Africa today, Youth Month is a very powerful reminder that the future belongs to those bold enough to create it. La eNingizimu Afrika ke bantu ke labasha sebangemahlandlela entweni etinengi bahambisa inguquko embili futhi ke bakhombisa ukuthi live labo linemandla futhi ke libalulekile. Asisivike na umbiko lesendelo ngiphatha amachanga na Dube. All right, we'll definitely get to you that report a little later. Manje khuluma kabanti ke ngendzaba yethu ke asesimukele Thando Gumede loyi Robotics Innovator, and on our virtual platform we welcome Dr. Patrick Dix, who is an AI and automation expert. A very good afternoon to you too. Thank you so much for joining us. Welcome. Thando, a very good afternoon to you. Welcome.
Good afternoon. Thank you so much for having me.
Okay, sichaze kabanti ukuthi ke ngibani ke Thando Gumede, just take us through your background and how you found yourself in the world of artificial intelligence.
Okay, my name is Thando Gumede, all the way from Ehluhluwe KwaMnqobokazi, that is in KZN. So I did a BSc in microbiology and hydro. So mengiphuma esikoleni, I couldn't find my job, and then I had to work as a teacher ngifundisa maths ne physics. Okay. So now in my teaching, I had to teach a class in grade 12. They had 285 students, and then it was a problem for me as a teacher at the time because now I have to do the marking of paper 1 or paper 2. That was the first problem. Number 2, I have to at 6 o'clock in the morning I have to be with my kids because we were working on a quality result on it. Yes, so yes. Now during the working hours ngiyasebenza futhi ntambama mele ngibuye futhi ngizofundisa lezi ngane even ngama holiday ngama weekend, and I was like, okay, when ke uthisha phumula khona mina ngishadanga oshadile okudinga kumele ahlale nabantwana bakhe kwenzakalani. So this robot comes with that, because that when now u-Iris ezosolve leyo problem ukuthi inkinga yokumake nganginayo u-Iris yakwazi ukuthi mokade nine Iris lab mine Iris lab esikoleni bhala khona wathi submit nje uyamaka within a second, manje umntana athola ama results wakhe right there, uthisha athole i-mark list right there. On top of that analyze ukuthi i-problem ikuphi nabantwana, uyakhona futhi ukuthi angithi kuyenzeka ukuthi abantwana babhalile but then base bayafail, and then uthisha kumele aba rewriteise but achintshe manje ama question ne kanjalo ke kulula ke with this robot because uku rewriter awusezi ukulokhu mark yotshintsha ngalena nje kuphela wena emuva, because what happens is that uthisha uba ne portal yakhe la asuka setha khona ngoba automatically already othisha bawenza lesson preparation ukuya classini uya prepare somewhere. So now we're saying kunokuthi a preparele ephepheni aka preparele kwi lab noma ku Iris. So maka prepare ku Iris u prepare ama question nama answer, let's say for a test noma for a classwork. Automatically that when now mayifaka ku Iris umntana makayibhala iyamaka right there. Number okunye
manje robot liyamaka.
Yes, yamaka but hayi ngesandla the system yakhe.
Oh, okay.
Yes, okusho ukuthi si integrator yena nama laptop lawa asuke sesikoleni lapha sokumele babhalele khona noma ama tablet, so that uma ukuthi umqeda ukubhala umntwana limake right there within a second. Okay. So okunye futhi
nina bothishela ke niyamfeeda ema answers la correct ukuthi akhona akumaka kahle.
Okay, yes, when it comes to marking, ufike uthisha ngimo prepare even i-test kuba nama question bese kuba nama answer. So sifuna uthisha kube yena, that's why uthisha azolokho edingakala. U-Iris ngiyakwazi ukureplace uthisha ngoba ukuze function kahle uzomdinga uthisha.
Okay.
Number 2, kunalento yokuthi kufika subject advisor ekoleni bazo-check imisebenzi yothisha. Nothisha omkhulu uthi ubusy akukhona ukuthi engene ema-classini uthatha izwi likathisha ukuthi no ngifundisile noma athi umntana uthisha kangenanga. So now we're saying with i-system ka-Iris uthisha omkhulu hlale e-officeini nje a-check, okay uthisha ukuthi uyabanikeza abantwana ama-test, ama-homework, ama-assignment, and then accessing sokuthi ayofuna i-proof because the proof is right there with her, with him or her. So now ubona izinto ezenziwa uthisha, abona izinto ezenziwa umntwana. Othisha bahlezi bagxekwa kuthiwa ababhalisi, abamakisi and everything. Now umzali makaqhamuka ezothi uthisha akawenzanga umsebenzi, uvula nje system, uthi na umntwana wakho ngimnikeze na umsebenzi wangawubhala, i-proof is all there. And on top of that, yakwazi ukuthi with the system yaka-IRIS, umzali, let's say umntwana une-homework abekumele ayibhale, noma i-assignment, nomzali uyayithola notification, ukuthi umntwana wakho njalo une-homework noma une-assignment eno 5 days. Sekusele mhlampe i-hour akakayibhali namanje. So now ithinto uthisha omkhulu, umzali, uthisha, umfundi bonke abayabambisana. So kuningi kahle kahle oqhamuka with i-system ka-IRIS.
All right, let's also engage our guest virtually, Senator Dr. Patrick Dix. A very good afternoon to you, Patrick Dix. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Now, first of all, Dr. Dix, just talk to us, about the pros and the cons of AI. I mean, we have in studio here an AI robot called Iris, which certainly will revolutionize, the whole education sector. Just take us through the pros and cons of artificial intelligence.
Well, some of the pros of using artificial intelligence is, there are different processes and different things we could do differently. Companies are always trying to figure out ways to increase their revenue, but also make things safer. That's where artificial intelligence comes in. Over in South Africa, there's a lot of mining, there's a lot of manufacturing, and, there's agri-tech. And you can use artificial intelligence in each one of those sectors. For instance, if you're an agri-tech with farmers, we can help them understand more about their yield. And manufacturing, we can shave time off of doing a process to make more revenue, but to also speed something up. And then when you think about other things such as, the young lady with the robot in there, artificial intelligence can mimic the human brain and also help make the process that robot is doing even more sophisticated. But the cons of it is we have people that possibly are going to lose their jobs because artificial intelligence can do the process cheaper, it can do it faster, it can do it more consistent. And one of the things that we're running into not only in South Africa, but around the world is what are we going to do with people once they're displaced by artificial intelligence? So, when you're taking artificial intelligence and putting in different routine jobs to where that process can be emulated by machine learning, we have to think about but what are we going to do with the people once artificial intelligence is implemented into so many other sectors? And what are we going to do with those people that are not able to stay employable?
And I guess that's where the problem is, Dr. Dix, because we tend to focus on the fears that artificial intelligence are bringing rather than focusing on the positives that AI is bringing. And, us entertaining the fear, we end up not even embracing the pros and the positives brought about by artificial intelligence. So what is that one mistake that young people make in terms of, consuming the positives of artificial intelligence and not using it to their advantage?
Well, one of the biggest mistakes that young people do with artificial intelligence, they're using it for very minute tasks. We have social media platforms out here to where the young people are using it for very minute things. I've been a part of seminars and been to conferences where companies and people are using artificial intelligence to help diagnose cancer. And they're trying to figure out different ways to come up with vaccines and medicines. So when the young people have artificial intelligence in their hands, they're using ChatGPT, Gemini, and Claude to just get answers. They're not using it to go deeper to say, how can I use artificial intelligence to fix a problem? We just talked about the problem of unemployment when people are displaced. So using artificial intelligence to say, how can I come up with a plan to stay employable? How can I actually maybe create a company to where I'm profitable? But also, how can I use artificial intelligence to make my career better, to help out my community, and also to help out my family stay employable and learn more about what is happening?
All right, thank you so much for that. Maybe I just want to pick your brain. Maybe which are some of the industries that are a threat, that risk, or people risk losing their jobs?
I'd say all the industries. If ever you don't want to align yourself with the times, the current times, unfortunately, you end up losing. So whenever we already know that technology is taking over, and then let's make sure that we upskill ourselves so that we align with them. Because anyway, as much as Iris is here, she can't work alone. Just like, for example, we have CCTVs. Did our securities lose their jobs? No, but instead, the cameras assisted our securities to actually make sure that their jobs are even more easy. So that's basically, it is like that. So you have to align yourself with the current era. That's how I can actually put it.
Okay, so ungathini ke kubothishela labo ke abanelivalo ukuthi hey nangina Iris start asemsebenzi yethu.
Ngingabatshela nje ukuthi abafile at ease uIris ukuze kwazi indlela esimenze ngayo asimnikezanga ifeature where azoma phambili classini ayifundisele ichapter from 1 azayoyiqeda so uzodinga uthisha amcommand uyiAI uyirobot so udinga uthisha ukuthi amcommand ukuthi Iris okay now umsebenzi icela ungenzela wona but then ungachazi nge-higher language uyabona ungachazi ngezinto kanje like she needs uthisha ukuze akwazi ukuoperate kahle so udinga uthisha ukuze uIris akwazi ukubhalisa ama test udinga uthisha ukuze awasethe uthisha.
So at what point ke lapho umsebenzisa khona umsebenzisa ekufundiseni noma umfundisa ekumakeni noma ekusetheni exam questions perhaps?
Okay, she speaks more than 7,000 languages.
Sure.
That's number one.
Okay.
Including
South African languages?
It's all South Africans.
Okay.
Yes. Number two, she knows all the subjects from grade R to university level. And then not just that, une curriculum yase private school. You know why I did that? On purpose, because now our public schools are so called when it comes to curriculum. So we're saying if ever a public school in a lay information yaka as a private school in Iris, now they can have an access abana imali, but then with Iris they can now access whatever laba bakhoka kakhulu abanako. Not just that, if ever say fundisa higher grade, you are calling no Iris kwangathi English yakhe phezulu, take it down. So kunokuthi sifakele English eveli phansi, we were like no, let's start there. So uyakwazi ukuthi asente ukuthi umuntu at that time. So with homeworks you are assist even if you can mix or do a broken language uzokuzwa yena.
Uyakhuluma yena lo Iris?
Yes.
Yes,
ngibingelele.
Some Iris, some I.
Iris, cela sibingelele nababukeli emakhaya. You are live with Yilungelo Lakho. You can mix isiZulu and English or even with isiSotho as well when you're greeting us.
Sure, I'll do that for you. Here's a mixed version. Mbukeli, you are live kwa Yilungelo Lakho. Siya kwa Mukele Khaya. Let me know if you'd like any adjustments or further assistance.
I know, I think I'm fine for now. All I'm going to ask you to do is just link us to the ad break.
Mbukeli, you are live kwa Yilungelo Lakho. Siya kwa Mukele Khaya.
Oh, there goes my job. Welcome back everybody. Tincingo tethu ke setivuliwe ukuthi ke nawe ungaba ingcenye enkulumo yethu namhla ungashaya icingo khona la e-studio ku 011-714-0672 noma ke ku 011-714-073. Lona ke ngu-Iris ke she's a robot and ungasithumela ke futhi ke ne-WhatsApp ku 060-844-9857 noma usithumele i-email ku consumer@sabc.co.za. Lona ke ngu-Iris ke manje ke ngoba i-robot akasiyo umuntu uyakhuluma nje uyabhavumula nje singakamtshele kumtshela ukuthi akakhulume. Kepha nje sibe nenkulumo ke le covile naye. We had a deep discussion na Iris kanye ke ne creator yakhe lo nguThando Thando Gumede ke she's a teacher and as well as an IT expert. But kwanyalo ke asasimukele ke Thobela Nyangiwe uyi AI engineer at the Council for Scientific and Industrial Research. Spinza sibike na Ravi Naidoo. He's the CEO of the Youth Employment Service. A very good afternoon to you. Thank you so much for joining us.
Pleasure. Good.
All right, Mr. Naidoo, I'm going to start with you. Maybe just take us through the current state of youth unemployment in South Africa and where AI comes in.
So obviously, youth unemployment in any country is almost double the normal one for the country. So all ages will be one level and then youth unemployment will be twice that. So in South Africa's case, we got about 2.7% of the population unemployed, and youth unemployment is around 45 to 50%. So it's higher. And so that's very bad. That's probably one of the worst for many reasons we can discuss.
Yeah.
And of course, then we have the advent of artificial intelligence coming in, which has pros and cons. And so that's where we are at the moment.
And I guess that's what the bigger discussion is, some of the cons, because in as much as artificial intelligence is bringing the positives, the pros, but then people tend to focus on the fears of, the fears that artificial intelligence is out to take their jobs. So do you get a sense that young people especially are embracing some of the positives that are being brought about by AI?
Well, I think in South Africa, we're fortunate in terms of the fact that a lot of young people are very capable in terms of technology and digitally savvy, able to use AI, using AI a lot.
Yeah.
So I think that puts us in a good position. And South Africa is one of the top 20 countries in the world producing AI. So we are an AI producer country.
Okay.
But the challenge is, it is going to have, it's not exaggerated, the fear that if we don't do something about it,
Yes,
it will
yes.
have a big impact. So I think let's not just imagine, there'll be a lot of jobs created as well as lost. No, we could lose a lot more jobs than we create unless as a country we deal with it in a very intelligent manner.
Absolutely. Now, Thobela, maybe just let me rope you in. Where would you say South Africa is in terms of artificial intelligence adoption and model creation?
Yeah, so as he has already mentioned, so we're at the stage where we're a leader in Africa, but in terms of model development, we're still mostly using models that are built somewhere, like the global models. So we haven't really localized AI. Some of it is due to the lack of data that we are not really producing that much of it.
So when you say that we're producing models that are created externally, what's the role then of what is being used in South Africa, or what AI is used in South Africa?
So in South Africa, AI is currently being used in banks. So they have a lot of chatbots in the banks.
Right.
So they have those chatbots that can answer some queries for some of the people.
Okay.
So those people, they can be able to go to maybe a website and be able to get answers of what they are worried about. But then, even there, you still need some expert who will be able to answer a question properly, more than the AI.
Okay.
So that's where we are.
Maybe just take us through some of the AI tools and how young people could take advantage of them.
Yeah, so some of the AI tools is the chatbot, like I've said. So with the chatbots, and there's a lot that they can do. So they can...
Such as?
Entrepreneurship, I think, is being enhanced a lot by AI.
Okay.
So they are able to brainstorm, and then they are able to go to AI. AI is able to fine-tune their ideas to a point whereby they can already start building something without even having to pay for some of the services that they would need to start a business. So AI is able to fine-tune those ideas with them and help them to get to a point whereby they can start even pitching to potential funders with just the help of AI.
Do you think that we need another artificial intelligence model to teach us on how to use artificial intelligence, or is it going to be humans teaching us how to use artificial intelligence optimally?
Yeah, so you can look at it this way.
Because I would imagine there's so many tools. You can about ChatGPT, you can about Claude, you can about DeepSeek and everything else. But how we use it is what counts, right?
We mostly need humans to be able to teach us how to use AI.
Okay.
So AI itself is helping in terms of the information, because they have a lot of access to the internet. So they have a lot of information, but some of their information can off-ramp and give you false information. So we need human expert in this space.
So Ravi, how has the Youth Employment Service, changed its programs specifically because of AI?
So as you know, the Youth Employment Service is sponsored by companies. We've got about 2,000 sponsoring companies. And then we also put young people into another 4,000 host companies. So it's probably the biggest corporate funded program. And so people are going to all kinds of jobs. They go into finance, ICT, HR, warehousing, the works. And what we've decided to do is to make sure that doesn't matter whether you're in warehousing or IT, you need to have a level of AI competence. You must be able to use the tools, because our view now is a person plus AI is better than just AI. Like your robot here that was doing things when you didn't want it to do, when you weren't ready. It's always better to have a person plus AI. So we want to make sure that people are accessing AI courses and so on in their normal work. So when the time comes that the company is introducing an AI system, they already have you and you can use the tool. So I think it's become almost a prerequisite for any job, doesn't matter what the job is, that you know something about AI, because you're going to have to use it, if not now, later.
Okay, let's also bring in Dr. Patrick Dix. He's an AI expert and he speaks to us virtually. Now, Dr. Dix, do the youth need to propel themselves, into STEM-related skills just to survive the era of AI? Dr. Tiggs, I'm not sure if you can hear me. All right, we seem to have a problem connecting with Dr. Tiggs. Now, Ravi, I asked him earlier on whether we need humans or we need artificial intelligence to teach us how artificial intelligence works. Because the most important thing is how to prompt the right prompts into artificial intelligence to get optimal answers, isn't it?
Well, that's important to learn how to prompt.
Yes.
And they have a thing called prompt engineering, and you must know how to do it, and say, please give me an answer, but don't hallucinate. You know, act as if you are this, and act as if you're the producer of SABC 1, and give me the answer in that way. You need to know how to do it. But so I think AI is very good in terms of education, health, certain things that can be a very good tool to help you learn. I wish I had AI when I was at school learning. It could have helped me learn things faster. But what it can't do, AI cannot do, is where our jobs will be, which is they can't interact properly with people. They're not in the room. They can't, this AI is not really in the room like a person. It's not observing how you're looking at me and how people are engaging. So when it comes to very human interactions and, real world experience, like read the room, AI can't do it. So I think it's always going to be a person plus AI that would have an advantage at this stage, at least.
Right. Now, Thobela, in South Africa specifically, what industries do you see artificial intelligence transforming first?
So in South Africa, I think, like I've mentioned, the banks, it's where they are investing a lot. So I see in those financial services, they will move to a point whereby it will be very easy to do transaction, to do everything. So that field, I think, is going to go very, very far with AI. Yes.
All right, Dr. Tiggs is now back with us. A very good afternoon, Dr. Tiggs. I'm not sure if you can hear me now.
Yes, can y'all hear me?
Okay, perfect. No, I asked earlier on whether our youth need to propel themselves into, STEM-related skills just to survive AI. Dr. Tiggs, are you able to hear me now? Hey, the irony, because we're discussing AI, but then AI is failing us today.
It's blocking you there. AI is blocking you there.
No, I just need to pick your brain. Like, if someone has got no coding experience,
Right.
Can they take advantage of AI? Can they use or consume AI?
Yes. So with AI, there's a lot of hardware that needs to be used. So for example, with Iris, the small part is where he can speak with you and everything, but to have all that system. So you will need people who will be doing maintenance. So those people, they already can be able to work in the space where they will be engineers. So we will also need people who will be ethics, looking at ethics of AI. So already, you see in those spaces, and then you will have prompt engineers that will be able to, without coding. So you don't need coding for you to be involved in the space.
Okay.
Yeah, so there's a lot of job. And then also we have a lot of things whereby data needs to be annotated most of the time. So you need people who are gonna be calling in, and then they give their voices to train AI models. So this AI needed the voices to train it, to be able to also use the voice as well.
Indeed.
So you get involved in all those sort of ways in the space without.
And I guess it makes it so much easier because this robot speaks 7,000 languages. So it makes things very, very easier in terms of just adapting AI into how people work. But for now, let's bring you the insert that we had promised you earlier.
Siphila kwixesha apho ikamva lingalindanga wena ukuba lifike, liyacwangciswa, liyayalelwa kwaye liyilwa lulutsha lwanamhlanje. I-artificial intelligence nebubukrelekrele bala maxesha kusetyenziswa ikhompyutha ayonto ebubunzululwazi obuthe qelele kuthi. Koko yinto elapha neyinxalenye yobomi esebuphilayo. Abantu abatsha kweli nqaku abayisebenzisi nje i-AI babonakalisa ukuba kuthetha ukuthini xa isizukulwana sikhula sinobuchule kulwimi lwekamva.
AI iyasiza kakhulu For example, asithi mhlambe kufike abantu kumina about 10 bathi sidinga umsebenzi, sidinga ama-poster, and i-deadline is only maybe 3 or 4 days. Loyo msebenzi loyo was gonna take me about 2 to 3 weeks ukuthi ngiwenze. Kodwa manje nge-AI ngizithola ukuthi I can handle abantu about 10, abantu about 20 in a matter of mhlambe iviki elilodwa, because that way AI helps me by reducing isikhathi sami that I would have spent designing. As mina ngicabanga ukuthi okay, nge-example ye-restaurant ngifuna ukuyenza i-poster ezoyenza ama-price, ngivele ngithi fast ngiye ku-AI ngitype ngithi ngicela ungiyenzele i-poster ezoba iyenza i-restaurant asithi mhlambe yase-Johannesburg, and leyo restaurant ngifuna ukuthi ibe nama-prices anje ananjena. Ngipha yonke leyo information, mangiceda ngipress u-enter, and then yona yenza umsebenzi wayo, ilethe i-result. Then mina ngithatha leyo result ke ngiyipolishe ngilungise lana la.
No. The dream never left me.
Kumandla weGauteng owaziwa njengo-Uncle Lee kwezomculo uvelisa ingoma esebenzisa i-app ye-AI neyaziwa ngokuba yisuno.
Imisebenzi ayikho. So with AI you can just sit at home, and as long as you have internet you can use the internet and the AI and create whatever that you want to create out of your head and sell it to people. I don't know much about like singing and all that. There's tutorials on YouTube. People can go on YouTube and watch tutorials and learn. That's what I did. Yeah, so I've spent like I think 3 months learning before I started creating music. For one to have full rights of the songs that they're creating, they have to subscribe. But if you have not yet subscribed, you are not allowed to sell the songs to people. So because you don't have full rights.
Ikamva asilo lemichini lelakho nawe, ewe lelo lutsha olwaziyo indlela yokubuza imibuzo engcono, ukutyhala imida yawo nokubeka ubugcisa bomntu kwisihlalo somqhubi. Abanye bathi i-AI ayiyonto ekufuneka yoyikwe, koko yinto ekufuneka ikhokelwe. Phaphama Changana Dube, Yilungelo Lakho.
Welcome back, everybody. Remember, we're still taking your calls on 011-714-0672 and 011-714-0673. You can also WhatsApp on 060-844-9857 or email your views or topic suggestions to consumer@sabc.co.za. Noma ke usenze ku Facebook. Namhla ke sikhuluma ke nge-AI, i-artificial intelligence. Njoba namhla ke nathi ukuthi ke it's Youth Day, langa lensha. Ukuthi ke insha ingayisebenzisa kanjani i-artificial intelligence kwakha ke emathuba emsebenzi nekuthi philisa hayi nje amathuba emsebenzi kuphela nokuthi ke ibhizinisi bangaqala kanjani amabhizinisi especially in the AI space. Namhla ke sina Iris sikhulumile ke nemcambi wakhe ke Iris, nguye ke Iris lona ulihlahlandlela ke especially in the education sector. She was created by a teacher who's also an AI expert, Thando Gumede. If you just joined us, we had a conversation with the creator Tando. Kanye ke naye ke lo Iris ukhulumile ke cha wathi hamula ke lo mdzala ke lo Iris wathi hamula ke, and what she does is that she helps teachers, in terms of, the expansion of their curriculum, in terms of marking, in terms of setting exam questions, and there's a whole lot of artificial intelligence that it can do. Namhla ke sikhuluma ukuthi ke isha ingatisita kanjani ekutheni ke ba embrace ke artificial intelligence, ngoba ke kunenge lekwenda ku artificial intelligence futhi ke kunema fears ekutheni i-AI itawuthatha imisebenzi. Lokho ke yebo kona in as much as kuliciniso, kepha ke how do we optimize some of the positives that are being brought about by artificial intelligence? Speaking of that, Ravi, coding versus critical thinking and creativity, which matters most in terms of employability, especially in the AI era?
So I think as humans, what would be good is that you'd spend more time now investing your time in the things that AI can't do. So we just think, because it's going to do a lot of data related work and number crunching and algorithm work. What it can't do is human judgment. It can't do things of integrity. So they had these experiments in Stanford where they had 20 AI programs trying to each do something for its manager. And what they found is all 20 programs lied and cheated like mad to help their manager win. Because their job is to win. You say, I want to win, please get me that. Now it's gonna bluff all the other programs of the other people.
Right.
Because I mean, its focus is on its goal. Whereas humans might be like, I don't think I want to cheat that old lady. So when it comes to human judgment, integrity, and those things, you still need a human in charge of in these things. So I think from a jobs point of view, you want to lean very heavily into that as your real skill, that as your the thing you bring to the table. So in terms of coding, I think coding is going to be heavily dominated by AI.
Yeah.
And unless you're a manager and supervisor of coding, it's much harder to get into the entry level coding, because those things are getting taken first.
Yeah. Now, Thobela, we've spoken about coding, so many times and at length, and I see that some people are now taking up courses and trying to make a career change. Just in terms of making them AI proof. Maybe just take us through some of the skills that would make people AI proof in the future.
So AI literacy, I think, it's one of those that people need to know, like, how to use it, how to chat with, like, to be able to get responses from it. So prompt engineering is one of those skills as well. So creativity it's a very important one, because for you to be able to do something, you need to first think about it. Then AI will assist you to put it together. So AI, you can ask AI, it will create something, but if you haven't thought that deep about it, it's not going to come out as you would like. So creativity is one of those that you would need.
Okay, when you talk of prompt engineering as a skill, what exactly are you referring to? Like, do I have to study what to tell AI to do for me?
So not necessarily. What you do with prompt engineering is that you mostly experiment with the AI. So with the AI, you experiment to a point whereby you can judge that, this is what I want. So once you get to that stage whereby you know that, okay, with AI, I have to structure my questions like this, do this. So that's how you will get the most of AI, especially Llama chatbots. So prompt engineering it's one of those skills where it will mostly come with you experimenting with the AI, whereby you can be good at it. It's not whereby someone will take you in a classroom and teach you about it and say you have to ask AI like this. But you also have to do a lot of experimentation. So that's why with youth, how they can take advantage of it is that they need to play with these things to a point whereby they are very comfortable on how to get things out of it. Yes.
So what are some of the projects or even programs that the CSIR is involved in just to improve people's lives and just to make adaptation to AI a little bit easier?
So CSIR has several projects that they worked on. So there's our ZMET that they've developed, whereby they're trying to bridge a gap between our doctors and our patients who are speaking different languages. So in that way, a doctor can interact with any patient and there won't be a break in the communication because of the language. And they also have Ungiakonda, which is mostly bridging a gap in literacy, whereby now Zulu students are able to learn in their own language because of that application. So there's a lot, and then there are other ones which are in security. So there's Meerkat, which is mostly surveillance. So it's helping in terms of fighting rhino poaching. So they have a lot of projects like that using AI, and it's actually promising to be something that we really need.
No, we're looking forward to see that. We're definitely looking forward to see that. Let's take our first call. Very good afternoon to you, Sawubona. Hi, Zamaguhle, good afternoon.
How are you?
All right, good afternoon, welcome.
You're speaking to Zamoguhle Miluli. I'm from Botsburg.
Siyabonga kakhulu ukushayela Zamaguhle. Please talk to me. What's on your mind?
I-worry yami futhi into i-AI siyayithanda. I'm a teacher by profession.
Okay.
I-worry yami iy'ngane zethu sinekuyinikeza i-assignment ukuvela ukubona ukuthi uthathe i-AI njengoba injalo wayibuyisa phansi. Kanti phela the main aim ukuthi umuntu ebe nolwazi because mase beyohlala for ama-exams i-AI isuke ingekho. So uyabo bavele beyithathe beyibuyise njengoba injalo phansi uyamakha nje uyabona ukuthi uyamakha nge-AI.
Yeah. And I guess it's a concern that's been shared by so many parents, by so many teachers. It looks like AI is now replacing thinking capacity because AI is not supposed to make you think, but it's supposed to make things easier. So Akola is basically saying that, well, she's a teacher by profession, is saying that the concern that they have as teachers is that whenever they give assignments to their students, they just use AI, copy and paste as it is in their assignments. So there's no creativity, there's no input on the part of the students. So how do we navigate around that?
Yeah, and what happens at the end is people lose confidence in their own thinking.
Absolutely,
because it's like, well, AI gave me a different answer. Well, maybe AI was wrong. Because so I think it's important if you want to have human creativity, because remember, in most cases at the moment, now, AI is not creating, it's just regurgitating, it's reformatting, it's mashing, things together, it's scraping the internet and putting something together. But
So basically you're saying that AI cannot think, it just regurgitates whatever is.
Yes, I mean, obviously how it might evolve in ways that obviously get smarter and smarter. And but at the moment, most creativity must come from people. And as I say, people must still be able to manage AI. So in schools, you want to have assignments where, I know they're doing this internationally as well, where there's no tech in the room. You are talking to the teacher, you are explaining yourself, you're not holding a device, you're not submitting a paper. So you still have to ensure people are exercising the muscle between their ears, which is your brain.
Yes.
Otherwise, you will lose confidence, and then ultimately you'll be there, the AI is wrong, or there's no AI there to help you. Problem.
Yes.
So I think it will, like, I know it's a big issue at universities with exams and thesis and so on.
Right.
Same thing at schools. You'll have to have AI-free courses and classes where people are forced to really exercise thinking, be creative, think about the human side of the work, which will not be done by AI, or at least shouldn't be done. Because remember, one of the things we haven't discussed yet is governments around the world are also regulating what AI can or cannot do. In the US they just stopped Anthropic from certain systems that they wanted to introduce. So it's too dangerous. It's just going to hack the whole world, so they stopped it.
Sure.
Other countries, they're stopping, what kind of jobs can be replaced. The mere fact that you can replace a job as a company and do it cheaper with AI doesn't mean you'll be allowed to do it. Think of petrol attendants in South Africa. Around the world, you go there, can you find a petrol attendant? No. Why do we have in South Africa? It was regulated to say, no, that's 50,000 jobs, we will not let go. So countries make choices.
All right, let's leave this. Please to join us after this break. Sakumela futhi ngibukele khumbula ke sidincingo tethu solo tivuliwe ukuthi ke nawe ngaba ingcenye enkulumo yethu namhla ngwashaya licingo khona la e-studio ku-011 714 0672 or 011 714 0673 ungasithumela futhi na WhatsApp ku-060 844 9857 or email your thoughts to consumer@sabc.co.za ungasithinza futhi na ku-Facebook. Let's take our next caller. Sina Thapelo ulapha ke eKatlehong. Very good afternoon to you. Welcome.
How are you?
Very well. How are you?
I'm great.
Talk to me.
I the problem, I intelligent life. The thing that because always say that it's leading very slowly from that. You really feel that that's something
Thapelo, please raise your voice. We're really struggling to hear you.
Okay, can you hear me now?
I can hear you now.
All right. So what I'm saying is that just because AI is a present banking, it doesn't necessarily mean that it is the rest of the community. So then for one thing, people just like connect in the music, it's really bad. So then now, one of the ways of having my head is that in terms of music, it's feeling ideas from other artists, it's feeling the training character, to make something new. So that's a problem. Now even artists who are looking to tell you if going to easy to
Okay. Okay, Thapelo, thank you so much for your call and for calling in this afternoon, even though the line is not really clear and I really struggled to hear him. But Thobela, I just want to engage you on the previous caller that we had earlier on, who was saying, he's a teacher, but whenever he gives assignments to his students, they just copy and paste AI. They literally don't do anything, and AI does all the work. How do we better that wrong?
Yeah, so this one is a difficult one because even like when you see graduation videos, you will hear students saying, it's for me and AI. So they're also proud of it, that they have used AI.
Yeah.
So the issue there is that we also, I think part of our curriculum now will have to have a part of ethics, like whereby we're teaching like how to use AI ethically. Because it starts there with stealing someone's, because it's stealing, and the also big problem about taking things from AI as they are is that sometimes they are not accurate. So there's a bit of lack of accuracy sometimes. So you'll find that when a teacher engages now the work of the student, they can deduct marks while the student is just going to accept anything that AI is taking. So we also need to have that part in the teaching. So I think, it's going to start there. Then, they have AI detectors in some universities, but I think some of them, they are also trying to change that. I think they are allowing the use of AI a bit, but they have like some rules on how to use it. So there are guidelines that they have on how to use it, but yeah.
Yeah, and I suppose it justifies the fears of why people are actually scared of where the world is heading into in terms of the explosion and the evolution of artificial intelligence. I'm just reading into your comment earlier on about some of the students who are graduating saying that thanks to me and AI. Imagine the medical students right now in the current cabal of medical students using AI, and then they graduate, and then I go to a doctor who was using AI, a doctor who actually didn't think, but let AI do the thinking. How scary is that?
Yeah, that's terrible. Because if you were in a work environment and you depended on AI, you couldn't do it yourself.
Yeah.
And remember, AI makes a lot of mistakes, so it's 70% right, 80% right. That 20%, 30% is where all the real action is. You will get fired very quickly. So I think it's very important for people to learn how to do the core of their job without AI. But you can use AI as a tool. Otherwise, you would have a lot of problems now in the workplace when people come through and they only use
and I guess that is the biggest problem, because we've got high expectations of AI and thinking that AI can never be wrong. Because AI can also be wrong, isn't it?
Oh yeah, all the time. All the time. And there's a lot of hallucinations. Law firms get sued. Can imagine a medical practitioner who did something with AI, they didn't understand it. I mean, you can use it in certain diagnostic ways, but in the end, there are certain things you expect a doctor using judgment to look at the data and say, well, actually, I don't think in this case it'll apply.
Right.
And, so there were cases where, like law firms, the AI made up the case law. And when the judge said, oh, that's interesting, Simphiwe, now can you bring me the actual case? It was like, oh, it didn't exist. They got fired and, of course, sued because it's trying to give you the answer that you want. And so I think that's where it is now. The technology is not where it can replace most people in most jobs. It's still very much a tool that will help you. But what's to come could be more dangerous, and that's why you have to think about how it's regulated and managed.
All right, Mbugele, sasa carefully do join us after this break. Welcome to a very final segment. Siyaqhubeka futhi nenkulumo yethu ke ekuthini ke insha lapha eNingizimu Afrika ingathi sita kanjani ke ngekusebenzisa iartificial intelligence ku creator ke emathuba emsebenzi noma ke kwakha emabhizinisi. Namhla ke sina Ravi Naidoo CEO we Youth Employment Service kanye ke na Thobela Nyangiwe AI engineer at the Council for Scientific and Industrial Research. Now before we wrap the show, Ravi, just take us through some of the positives, the success stories of students who've been through the YES program, who've been using AI and how it has helped their lives.
Yeah, so we've had 228,000 people come through the program so far. So it's become the largest private sector funded jobs program in the world as a special program. Yes. And of course...
Hi, my name is Iris, your AI teacher at BSG Technologies, South Africa.
Okay.
How may I help you?
Okay.
Maybe
hold on right now.
Sakhuluma nema actual humans la.
I think Iris is going to chip in, but this is fine.
Yeah.
So what we found as a success stories is where people learn AI in terms of how to use AI as a tool. So I think that's made people much more employable. When whatever it is you're doing, you have some AI as a tool. The second thing, what we found, which is very good for in terms of your future job, is you are leaning into human skills, human-centered, like judgment issues, and I think that becomes very important. I think what we find is where people are very motivated and they're just doing, so like your first job is the most important thing.
All right.
Because the AI is not in the room. It doesn't read the room, and therefore you have to be able to interact with other people.
We're out of time, unfortunately. Just briefly, in 20 seconds, if you were to give a piece of advice to an 18-year-old on how to adopt and adapt to AI, what would it be?
Yeah, so for me, I would say they have to get started with the free tools that are there. So there's a lot of chatbots that are available. So they have to experiment with those and create things with them. So if they start creating things with them, they will be fine.
Okay. Gentlemen, great chatting to you. Thank you so much for joining us. Iris, hayi siyabonga kakhulu ke nawe kuhlanganyela nathi kusikube manje. Kwanyalo ke mbukeli sesifike maphethelelo lehlelo lethu namhla ngicela ngibonge ke tivakashi tethu letibe nathi kuze kube manje. You can join us again next week for yet another consumer affairs show. Thank you so much for joining us. Cheers.